Imagine this: a ship filled with so much gold, emeralds, and silver that it could collapse an entire nation's economy and rebuild it from the ashes. But that treasure never reached the shore, because in 1708, in the dark waters of the Caribbean, it vanished in the middle of a war, a betrayal, and a curse. The name of this ship was the San José, and today, over 300 years later, billion-dollar companies and modern technology are still trying to find it. Some even claim they already have, but no one is allowed to touch it. Because the San José is not just a ship, it is a royal grave, holding the secrets of an empire. And graves are not opened easily. The year is 1708. The world is like a chessboard between European empires. Wars, alliances, betrayals. All for one thing: gold and silver. And most of that gold flowed into the Spanish Empire from South America. Tons of precious metals from Peru, Bolivia, and Colombia were the economic heart of Spain. The ships carrying those treasures were called the Silver Fleet. Every year, a massive convoy traveled from Lima to Panama, then to Havana, and finally to Spain. But this time the board was different. Europe was in the middle of the War of Spanish Succession. England, the Netherlands, and Portugal all had their eyes on Spain's treasure, which meant San José's journey was not just a trade route. It was a race to decide the future of the world economy. The dark cargo of San José did not just carry precious metals. It carried the hope of an empire. 11 million gold pesos worth of treasure, nearly 200 tons of silver bars from Bolivian mines, chests of pure Colombian emeralds, and the taxes of the colonies. The money meant to keep the Spanish throne alive, but there was a darker layer. On board were records of illegal trade, tax corruption, and covert wealth transfers. If these documents were captured by the enemy, Spain could collapse. So the ship was considered holy cargo. It was not allowed to fall into enemy hands, under any circumstance. When San José quietly left the port of Cartagena, no one knew it would be remembered as the El Dorado of the sea. Captain José Fernández de Santillan had received a direct command: if you do not return with the treasure, do not return at all. Everyone on board understood the danger, because the British Royal Navy had been tracking San José for months, waiting, watching, preparing, and now the trap was almost ready. June 1708. The fleet sailed toward Havana. The sea was calm, the sky clear, too clear. On the horizon, British warships appeared, commanded by Charles Wager, a man who had studied San José's path like a hunter watching its prey. The moment had come. The thunder of cannons ripped the sky apart. Smoke, fire, screams. The sea turned black. San José fought fiercely. Men fell, but the ship stayed upright, refusing to surrender. And then, fate delivered its cruel punchline. A single British cannonball struck the gunpowder storage room. For a second, there was silence. Then, the ship exploded. A burst of fire rose into the night sky, and just as quickly, it vanished beneath the waves. No treasure, no survivors. Only the deep. Nearly 600 souls were lost that night, and the treasure sank to the bottom of the Caribbean, where it would sleep for centuries. The San José wreck was lost for over 300 years. Its coordinates vanished. Reports conflicted. The ocean erased the evidence. The treasure became a legend, a whisper. But legends never really die. Sometimes they wait for the right moment to rise again. A ship carrying enough gold and silver to rewrite the world's power map. A treasure lost for 300 years. But today, that treasure is no longer lost. It has been found. And what followed was not celebration, but a war. Not with cannons, not with swords, but with laws, governments, secret deals, and billions of dollars. This is where the story gets darker. For nearly 3 centuries, San José slept quietly. Divers searched. Treasure hunters guessed. Rumors spread in coastal towns. passed from fishermen to sailors, to captains, to dreamers. But the ocean keeps secrets well, until 2015. A team working with the Colombian government made a discovery. A shape deeper than light could reach. A hull covered in coral. Bronze cannons with a unique seal. The seal of the Spanish crown. This was no ordinary wreck. This was San José. They confirmed it in silence, privately, carefully, because announcing this discovery meant one thing: everyone would come for it. Originally, the treasure was valued at 11 million pesos in 1708, but adjusted for modern currency, rarity, historical value, and gemstone markets, the San José treasure today is valued at between $15 billion and $20 billion. Let me repeat that. A single shipwreck, worth more than the annual budgets of some countries. This wasn't just treasure. This was a throne, a kingdom, a financial resurrection, and whoever controlled it would hold power. Colombia said, the shipwreck lies in Colombian waters. Therefore, the treasure belongs to Colombia. Spain said, the ship was a Spanish naval vessel. It is a state military grave. Disturbing it is a crime. A private U.S. salvage company said, we found it first 30 years ago. We have a signed contract. We are owed half of the treasure. Indigenous communities said, the gold and silver were mined using enslaved labor. The treasure belongs to our ancestors. And UNESCO, World Heritage, said, no one is allowed to take anything. The site must remain untouched. 4 continents, 4 legal systems, 1 underwater tomb. This was no longer archaeology. This was war. Divers sent down cameras, and what they saw silenced the room. Skeletons, dozens, some still wearing fragments of boots, belts, jewelry. Some still lying near the collapsed cannons. Some still shackled. San José was not just treasure. It was a mass grave. 600 men died there in seconds. Their bodies never surfaced. Their story was never told. The wreck was now protected by international law. If a wreck is also a grave, it cannot be disturbed. So the treasure, even though we know where it is, cannot legally be touched, not even lifted, not even photographed up close. Like a sealed tomb, a sarcophagus of gold, emerald, and bones. Here's the thing, deep ocean technology has changed. Remotely operated submersibles can recover treasure without leaving evidence. And we know private salvage teams have been watching. Some claim pieces have already been stolen, sold quietly. No records, no proof. Because the ocean does not report theft. There are no security cameras under 2,000 feet of pressure. Just silence. So the Colombian government launched Project Kraken, a military-protected operation to recover the treasure themselves, not for money, but to control the narrative. Here is the part almost no documentary ever mentions. The treasure is not the important part. The documents on board were cargo logs, tax records, smuggler payments, secret trade routes, names of officials who stole from the crown, names of merchants tied to enslaved labor networks. If these were revealed today, European and South American governments could face diplomatic chaos. San José holds not just gold, but secrets. Secrets powerful people want buried. Right now, at this moment, the ship rests in the deep, silent, untouched, guarded by law, politics, and ghosts. But time is running out. Private companies are getting bolder. Technology is getting faster. Governments are getting desperate. Someone will make a move. And when they do, the world will watch. Because when you open a grave like this, you don't always like what comes out. There's a reason the world knows where the treasure is. But no one is allowed near it. Not anymore. Because the last team that tried never came back. In 2017, 2 years after the discovery leaked, a private deep-sea exploration crew was quietly hired. They were told the mission was simple: survey the wreck, record everything, do not remove anything, standard procedure. But the contract had one strange condition: no names, no direct contact with media, no real identities used in mission logs. The divers didn't like it, but when someone offers 6 figures for 1 month of work, you say yes. The team deployed a remotely operated submersible from a vessel anchored miles offshore. The first 7 hours went smoothly. Then the cameras approached the wreck. The divers fell silent. There it was, the hull, still intact in parts. The cannons marked with the royal seal of Spain. The treasure glittering under a thin layer of sand. But what the camera saw next was not treasure. It was faces. Human skulls, dozens, stacked, still inside what remained of the ship's hold. Some with jawbones locked open, as if they died mid-scream. The mission leader whispered, "We leave now. We leave right now." But the company funding the dive responded, "Keep recording. Move closer. We want the chambers." So the sub went deeper, and that's when the signal began to distort. Not cut, not fail, distort, like something was interfering, almost like someone, or something, was already down there. One of the divers later described it, before he disappeared. He said, "It was like a figure, not human, not fish, just watching us." Like the ocean was alive. The sub's camera briefly captured a shadow, a shape drifting behind the wreck, too large to be a diver, too slow to be a shark. Then the feed went black, total blackout, communication lost. The sub stopped responding. The divers triggered an emergency retrieval. The cable reeled up, and when the sub broke the surface, its front camera was shredded. Metal torn like paper, but the ocean doesn't tear steel. Not like that. The mission ended instantly. The ship returned to port under silence. The data drives were seized. The divers were paid in cash. And then, something strange happened. Each diver signed a non-disclosure contract that was already prepared, with their names typed in, meaning whoever requested this mission knew who they were, before the fake identity paperwork. This wasn't a research mission. This was surveillance. Someone wanted to know what was still down there. Over the next 18 months, 2 divers died in what authorities called accidents. One diver went missing in open water. His body was never recovered. The mission leader stopped speaking entirely, moved to a rural town, and told neighbors, "The ocean doesn't forget, and it doesn't forgive." Only one diver ever spoke publicly. His interview aired once, at 2 a.m. on a small Colombian radio station. In that recording, he said, "The treasure is not the danger. It's what guards it." The interview was scrubbed from archives 1 week later. Every copy, every transcript, every mention, gone, like it never happened. Historians offer one explanation. The sailors who died when San José exploded were not at peace. 300 souls, trapped in an instant of terror. Their bodies sank, but their memory never surfaced. And when you disturb a grave like that, you don't just find treasure. You wake the dead.